I guess what's up? So I've been wanting to do this for quite a while, right? But I'm going to start doing it now and that. You're going to get 4 reviews from us like today. I'm going to do them all like one after the other. I was thinking about doing like 3 of them in one, but I feel like it'd be better just to do them like individually, so you just like focus on each game at a time. But I'm going to start doing reviews, and that's something that I've really like thought about doing for a while and stuff. Not just games, like maybe like even review like certain films that I like. I'm thinking about reviewing like this, like the Tarantino like films, because obviously I'm a massive Tarantino fan. Seeing all of these movies, I've actually got all of these films as well. So I might do that at some point. But starting with today, I'm going to review like all the Mass Effect games. I'll start with the trilogy. I'll start with like the first 3 games, and I'll work my way to Andromeda. And then after I've done Andromeda, I'll talk a little bit what I want from the new Mass Effect that comes out, which is going to be titled Mass Effect 4, by the way, because Andromeda doesn't actually count, if you know what I mean. But obviously, we're just going to start with we're just going to start Mass Effect 1, like just to begin with. So yeah. So like I said, I hope you like enjoy this and that. But I just thought I'll start with like Mass Effect because it's my favourite game series of all time, and I absolutely love Mass Effect. As you can see right now, in that I've got Mass Effect keep calm or get angry. So obviously, like the blue is the Paragon, which is like the more calm Shepard, for example, and the red for like Renegade is obviously basically angry like Shepard. So yeah. But anyway, Mass Effect 1, directed by Casey Hudson, came out in 2007, right? And I said 2001 for some reason, I don't know why. Yeah, so it came out in 2007. I remember when I got this because I saw like a few trailers on the telly. There wasn't like loads of trailers or anything. Like the first Mass Effect was kind of under the radar a bit because it was like a very low budget game, like at the time. But I saw a few trailers. I used to get the OXM like magazines, for like the 360, and I saw a few things and I thought, you know what, it actually looks pretty good. So obviously, back in 2007, I went and got Mass Effect 1 from Asda. Right, and to be honest, I hardly touched the game at first. Not that I liked it, wasn't like I hated it, and it wasn't like I liked it either. It's just, I think when I was younger, my attention span wasn't as very good, you know what I mean? But didn't really give it much of a chance. But I'll tell you one thing, when I did finally get around to actually playing the game, and when I finished, I thought, bloody hell, this is one hell of a game, it really is. Honestly, Mass Effect 1, like, was one of like the first one sci-fi games that, in my opinion, that was absolutely stand out in that, and an absolute classic at the time. Like, yeah, I know, like obviously you got your Halo games and stuff which are good, and I mean, don't get us wrong, I like Halo, I do, even though I haven't played every single Halo game, but I do like the Halo series. But for me, like Mass Effect 1 was something different that we hadn't seen before, and especially back in 2007. Like obviously a sci-fi like game, which obviously a lot of people would compare to Star Trek a little bit, because I remember in the OXM magazine they even said about Mass Effect 1, the best Star Trek game that never got made, and you can kind of see why in a way. But no, like Mass Effect 1 was like really good. Obviously, like I'll try not to do like too many giveaways and spoilers and stuff and that, unless I feel like I have to, at times. But I'll try my best. But we'll see. I'll probably end up just giving away spoilers anyway. But obviously, the whole if anyone hasn't played Mass Effect, and that you play as Commander Shepard, who is part of the Alliance, and that and obviously in the future, and that obviously is set like way in the future. I think it's like 22, is it 21, 22 something? I can't remember off the top of my head. And that, I mean, yeah, I am a hardcore Mass Effect fan, right? But obviously, when you haven't played the trilogy for a long time, you're not going to remember every single thing and stuff. But I know all the characters and stuff like that. But obviously, you're Commander Shepard, where you can customize your character, and you can be a male or female, and that you can determine what your background history is, and that you can choose what you want to be, whether you want to be just a regular soldier or you want to be a biotic, and that's a few different types of biotics, engineer, and that infiltrator and stuff, which is basically a sniper. You get what I mean? So you could basically make your own Commander Shepard, which I really loved at the time, because you didn't really get many games like that, apart from maybe your Elder Scrolls and maybe your Fallout at the time and stuff. But when it came to a sci-fi RPG game, you never really had that before, until Mass Effect came along. So yeah. But I'll tell you one thing, really, really good game, Mass Effect, really good in that. I mean, obviously, I have a hell of a lot more to say when I go into like this, like Mass Effect 2 especially, and obviously Mass Effect 3 and that. But like Mass Effect 1 though was like, really good. I mean, I will say one thing, out of the trilogy, Mass Effect 1 was probably the hardest, like, to be honest, because Mass Effect 2 and 3, easy as hell. Mass Effect 1, on the other hand, was hard. You would die very quick, and the saves weren't very good, so if you've messed up at a certain point, you would go very far back. Unless you were like in the middle of like maybe like a boss fight, you would just like, you know, like start the boss fight from scratch. Even though there's not like a load of boss fights and stuff and that. Like, I mean, the main villain of the game is called Saren Artorias, right? You basically have two like fights with him in the whole game, right? So you know what I mean. So if you died, you would just like start that whole like boss fight again. Although to be honest, if I remember correctly, I think one of them you might go a little bit further back, but the last boss fight with him, I think you do start that boss fight from scratch. Maybe I think can't actually remember, but yeah, like you have to basically save like along the way with the game, because if you don't save the game, then like you're basically going to be screwed. Like it's basically try not to die kind. It's basically a try not to die kind of game. But for me, what made Mass Effect 1 special, and like also what I'll end up saying about like all the games as well, is I'm not like someone who would like play Mass Effect, you know, just for the action and stuff. I mean, the action is great and stuff, like, you know, the sci-fi combat and everything, like the weapons and like your abilities, you know, if you want to be a biotic and stuff. What makes Mass Effect special for me is the story and the characters, and that, and also the whole like exploration as well. Like that's what makes like Mass Effect like great for me. It's not the action that stands out for me. The action's just a bonus. And that, but really great story, like, and that, like, basically, I'll just give you like the quick little plot for Mass Effect 1. You're like a commander in the Alliance. You've got a chance to become a Spectre, which is basically kind of like secret, like government agents and stuff, like for the council and that. But your opportunity like almost gets ruined by a rogue woman Spectre known as Woman Saren, and then basically your job is to like hunt Saren across the galaxy and bring him to justice. That's basically the plot of like Mass Effect 1. It sounds simple, but it is effective and it is really good. But also the interacting with the especially your crew as well. You're on a ship called the Normandy, right? The interaction with the woman crew members, I absolutely love. I think Mass Effect 1 in particular has some of the best woman like dialogue and interacting with characters and stuff. Like obviously if you're talking to Cayden Alenko, Ashley Williams, Garrus Vakarian, Tali Zola Nalaya, Tali Zola Vaznima, Tali Zola, and that, like when I'm saying that, she has like so many different names, like Tali Zola Vaznima, Tali Zola Nalaya, and Tali Zola Vaz Normandy. She has 3 different names, but obviously that comes later on, like obviously like in the series. And also Joker, or aka Lieutenant Jeff Moreau, but obviously Joker, Dr. Chakwas, Erdnot Rex, and that. There's some really good characters. Liara Tassoni as well, Captain Anderson, like David Anderson as well, and that. So, like obviously I've already mentioned the main villain of the game, Saren Artorias, and by the way, like Saren, not many people like give him much credit in my opinion, but I do think Saren was a very good villain in the Mass Effect series. He really was, and like you didn't see him all the time, but when he did come on, he did really stand out and stuff. Because obviously, you know, his whole reputation, like he was like a really good like Spectre. Had his ways and stuff, which were a bit extreme and stuff, but he was a good Spectre, and that. But obviously, like for like a few reasons and stuff, obviously, like made him basically like go like really bad. I mean, there was always a little bit of darkness in him and stuff, but the whole thing of basically getting involved with an ancient machine like known as Reapers, called Sovereign, like Sovereign is a Reaper, and that like made him get like control through his like his biotic like implants, if that makes sense. As I says, like if you've played Mass Effect, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't played Mass Effect, then you might think, what the hell is he going on about and stuff. But yeah, so like I said, it's a really good game. Love Mass Effect 1. Like I said, the action is just a bonus, but it's the characters and the story that made Mass Effect like very good, and so for that reason I'm gonna give Mass Effect 1 10 out of 10. I'm still gonna give it 10 out of 10. Like It's not my favourite in the series. I'm going to get onto that in the next video. Like I said, the video's going to keep coming. I'll upload this video and then I'll do the other one like after. But yeah, I'll give it 10 out of 10. Like, it's really good, really good. Like I said, like the only little problems, I still think it's a 10 out of 10 game in my opinion. But I think the only thing is, it is like the hardest game, and also it's probably the shortest game in that as well. Like, yeah, it is definitely the shortest game, because if you don't do any of the side quests and if you just focus on the main story, you can finish the game in basically a day, maybe a day and a half. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, obviously I'll get into it like in a bit and that, but like obviously like when I move on to Mass Effect 2 and that, but yeah, like they're just the little problems for me when it comes to Mass Effect 1. Just the, like, it can be a bit challenging, even on easy. It can be a bit challenging, and it's a little bit too short, and that's it. But apart from that, for me, it's a 10 out of 10 game. Absolutely brilliant. But I hope you've enjoyed the review of Mass Effect 1. I'm going to do Mass Effect 2 like next, then I'm going to do Mass Effect 3, then I'm going to do Andromeda, and then that's all the reviews done today. So you're basically getting 4 reviews from us in one day. And then obviously after this, I'll just do like reviewing like every so often and stuff. I've got a few ideas in mind. Like I said, I might do start doing like a few Tarantino films, maybe next week or something. I think I'm also going to do the Last of Us Part 2 review when I've like finished the game, and also I think I'm going to do a Rage 2 review, because that's a game that I like feel like I'll need to like really talk about a lot, because I had a lot of expectations for that game, and obviously I just want to like, you know, talk about what my overall thought of it was. Like I said, I don't care if the game's like old or new or anything like that. I'll just review whatever the hell I feel like doing. But if you guys want us like do a review of any like games you like you want, obviously I'll have had to have played them and that, to obviously like give you a proper like review on what I actually think and that. But like I said, it's like any recommendations in the comments down below, I'll consider them only if I've played them or only if I've watched them, you know, whether it's like film or game, vice versa, you know what I mean? But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you have, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys for the Mass Effect 2 review very soon. Peace.